You know, Vantage, when they bought and renovated their first building downtown, did it when locating downtown wasn't cool. And, you know, for those of us who work downtown, when you see particularly the investment that Vantage has made, and this has been the year of Vantage and Affinity, the investment here in downtown Monroe really is phenomenal. And when we talk about commitment to community, I think it's demonstrated no stronger than in that investment here in downtown Monroe. And with that, I'd like to call on Mike Eccles to tell us a little more about the facility and the growth here.
By show of hands, who has worked in this building before, prior to Vantage and Affinity being here? We've actually had a couple of directors that have come by earlier, Central Bank and many others, so the history is rich, and when they've come in and asked, they said, well, I want to see the old boardroom. I want to see what it looked like because I remember it was a special place. That's exciting for us as a company to be able to support that history. And it's been a lot of fun working with people like Dr. Jones and Billy and Dr. Jones' wife Sissy and many others here that really care about that history. Dr. Jones will be telling you a little bit more about the history of the building and why Vantage is doing what it's doing. I have the luxury of just thanking all the people that made this happen. And there are a number, there are literally dozens and dozens of people that work day in, day out to make sure this facility is maintained. The construction on this building was done by Mann Construction. Todd Polk was the supervisor of that project, and he worked with us tirelessly to make sure that every last detail was taken care of. TBA Studio, Clint Whittington's in the back. We appreciate all your hard work. He was up here frequently making those little detailed designs and changes, and we thank you for all that you guys have done. The design and the decorating team. We can't thank enough, of course, Sissy Jones, Connie Spivey, and their team for doing what they do, working with people like Annette Land to make sure that the furniture was just right. People like Brandon Land that did the beautiful gardens on the side, and we're going to ask that after we're done today, everybody walk out there, and hopefully if it's not raining, we'll cut the ribbon out there. If not, we'll cut the ribbon in here. So Brandon, we appreciate everything that you guys have done as well. This building houses two organizations, Affinity Health Group, which Sue mentioned has had some tremendous growth over the last 3 or 4 years, and Vantage Health Plan is housed in this building as well, their marketing group. I'm going to ask Billy Justice to come up in just a minute to tell you a little bit more about what Vantage is doing and the marketing side and why we're growing right now. Some future things that you're going to hear about. We have a pharmacy that'll be opening on St. John Street, an excellent restoration project, Greek Revival building, and they've just done a top-notch job of bringing that back. So you'll be hearing about another ribbon cutting, and I encourage this same group, come on out. There'll be free coffee that day, and it's good coffee, I promise. So we encourage you to come out, be a part of this downtown redevelopment. We've had a good time being down here. This is a great place to call home. You walk in and say, this is my office every day. A phenomenal facility. So with that, thank everybody. I thank everybody for being a part of this, that have worked really hard to get us where we are today. And I'd like to welcome up Billy Justice, our Director of Marketing, to tell you a little bit more about Vantage as a whole and what we're doing going forward. Thank you.
When we talk about the old Central Bank folks and the culture that they have and the culture that we build here at Vantage for our employees so that they can grow in the company, be rewarded not only monetarily, but both mentally and spiritually as well, we think is very good. Vantage, we're growing throughout the state. Our Shreveport office is expanding. We're looking for office space in Baton Rouge, but as we go out and market through the southern part of the state, the good thing is that we get to bring that money home to Monroe, to local banks, which helps create some jobs here in Monroe. So again, and a good part of this for me, and what's been inspirational for me and pretty much almost my whole life is our President and CEO, Dr. Gary Jones. I get to be there at almost most of the important meetings. He's also married to my sister Sissy, so since I was a young child, I've been able to just kind of watch him and look at the things that he does, but how he truly leads by example. He doesn't need a lot of hoopla. He stays in the background. If the employees are defeated, he goes out the front and he takes the brunt of it. If we do a great job, he pushes us out front and lets us get all the rewards, and he goes back and sharpens his sword for the next battle. But it's really been good. I think this community, you really have a gem in Dr. Gary Jones. All of our politicians and business leaders here, you really have something special in this. I've spoken around the country. I've looked at a lot of CEOs with other companies, and I tell you, we have something special and our president and medical director, and I'm not just saying that to kiss a little tail here, I truly mean that. So anyway, and I have people all the time stop me and says, you know, a doctor's just not supposed to have that kind of business sense. What's wrong with him? But he's a good doctor as well and a good businessman. But I'd like right now just call on Dr. Gary Jones to say a few words, and I'm sure they'll be short and simple because he's a man of action and not of words, but he is the main reason behind this, and he's the inspiration in him looking out for the employees and for Monroe in general. He really has Monroe's best interest at heart. So I'd like to right now introduce Dr. Gary Jones.
Y'all be sure and get Billy to speak at my funeral, if you don't mind. I'm behind Michael Eccles and Billy Justice for a reason. It's so I don't have to say as much when I get up here to speak. And it usually works out pretty well. I did want to talk just a little bit about Vantage and Affinity Health Group and our time that we've had downtown here. You know, when we started out with just the Ouachita National Bank building, when we first moved downtown, we renovated 3 floors, and that was adequate for the employees and the staff that we had. And fortunately, we had some tenants to help us along the way there, so we were doing pretty good. We've since filled that building up, and we still have some tenants that we like a lot that are in there with us, but as our tenants have moved out, we've taken over space, and so we're on just about every floor there. We've bought some other small buildings around downtown. The little small building used to be the 991 building downtown is our production building where we do some printing, and our electronic medical records IT team is there that support our physician offices and stuff. And then Central Bank building came available, and I remember when Doug Walters first told me that we had an opportunity to possibly buy the Central Bank building. I thought, yeah, that's surely going to happen. So I didn't really think that it would, and then it did. And we were able to talk to the people selling it, and we had a man that was in charge of the real estate for Chase from New York that flew down to talk to us, and he was very cooperative in letting us also purchase all of the artwork that you'll see on the walls and the furniture that you see throughout the building. The large majority of what you see was office furniture and artwork that was in this building. Some of the artwork we found here in closets and things actually came from the Ouachita National Bank building, and so we were able to take it back down and hang it up again in the Ouachita National Bank building. Be sure on your tour today that you do go out and see Central Park, and we're glad we were able to name that Central Park. We got a new elevator, we'll take you up to the 2nd floor, and Affinity Health Group offices are upstairs. On this next corridor here is Vantage Marketing Department, and then on the 2nd corridor we have our media team that produce all of our commercials and for both Vantage and Affinity Health Group. They're also responsible for making the videos for our wellness program that we have that we offer our employees and the employers that buy insurance from us. So there's a lot to see as you walk around. If you have any questions about anything, be sure to ask one of our employees. They'll be glad to help you with that. We really do like being downtown Monroe, and I have seen a tremendous change since we've been down here. When we first got the building, we were a little apprehensive about whether it was the right decision to make. When we first moved in, our employees were a little nervous because there were not a lot of people downtown, and you'd find yourself walking down a corridor in the building and you realize you're all alone, maybe on that floor or something. But now you can't go anywhere in the Ouachita National Bank building without having somebody with you, or you hardly ever get on the elevator without 2 or 3 other people getting on the elevator with you. Properties, when we first moved downtown, we probably could have bought any property we wanted. Recently, we've been checking to see what properties are available, and a lot of people have plans for their property. There's not a lot of properties downtown available again. So downtown is doing really well now, and I expect over the next couple of years it's going to do better. And to the extent that we can, we're going to make sure that it continues to do well. I want to thank my administrative team, Mike Briard, Rhonda Haygood, and Bob Bozeman. I wouldn't sleep very well at night if I knew that I had to make all the decisions for Vantage. And I really like sitting down with them and getting to discuss things. It's great to have good people that you have confidence in to help you make decisions. And I know we're going to continue to make good decisions because we have them to help us. And then last, I want to invite my wife to come up here with me just a minute. She's my partner in just everything that I do. So you can bring that grandbaby with you. Do I have any other grandchildren here? Come on. I got one more missing though.
Where's Amelia?
Where's Amelia?
Kathy? Kathy, bring her up. Here she comes. Kathy.
I've got one more grandchild here.
Okay.
She's going to come up
Okay.
here in just a minute, but Sissy and I have been married 38 years, just a few days ago, and but this is just a lot of fun what we do downtown. But it wouldn't be near as much fun except I get to share it with Sissy every evening when we go home. So she's the one that works with our architects and our builders and our building management people here. And I hate to say it, but it's just a lot of fun. And we really enjoy what we do. So thank you all for coming today. If any of you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer it. And these are my 4 grandchildren.
Quite
That's,
proud, huh?
Oliver and Angelina and Vincent and Amelia. And that's Christy, my daughter. Thank you very much.
Dr. Jones, congratulations. And we'd like to invite all of you to step outside for the ribbon cutting. Before we do, I want to add one last thank you to Dr. Jones, and that is for continuing to keep the Central name in this building. I think it's a tremendous legacy that you give to people like Jim Altick and the folks that were at Central Bank. Thank you for that. So let's step outside and cut the ribbon.
It's obviously exciting for downtown Monroe. We're very proud of what goes on at Vantage, Affinity Healthcare. Tremendous for our community, and this is beautiful. And of course, to give the great acknowledgement for the old Central Bank and the Central Park here, it's a great day. We're very excited about it.